Hey, what's happening? It's Bill Smith. Um, I guess I'll just get to the point. Where has Tony Podesta been? Whatever happened to this guy? He just disappeared. So this is one of the reasons why I know that the QAnon stuff is real. This is how I knew that Trump was legit when Trump took office. Because, once they got started, man, Tony Podesta lost his lobbyist firm very, very quickly. So I've learned some things about Tony Podesta. Um, he's still alive and stuff. He's still out in public, living the high life, doing whatever he's doing. His name came up a couple days ago because of the Paul Manafort sentencing. Paul Manafort was Donald Trump's campaign chair during the 2016 presidential election cycle. Okay, Donald Trump's campaign chair was Paul Manafort, and Paul Manafort just got sentenced to 4 years in federal prison. Okay, Tony Podesta, he's the brother of John Podesta. And everybody knows, if you're listening to me, you know who John Podesta is. I don't want to go back into that. This isn't about John Podesta. He's a terrible, wicked person, okay? These two guys are brothers. These guys look exactly like the sketches provided by the Madeleine McCann witnesses in that story. So that's just all old news. I don't want to dig back into it. I'm trying to introduce new stuff now. So I'm going to cover this article. It's on Politico. Um, Before I get started, I want to point out a couple things. Okay, so over here on the most read, Ann Coulter, she flipped on us. Like at the exact moment when Trump was actually going to be exposed to some weakness in his base over the border wall, over, quote unquote, he caved, right? She dogpiled on him. And she pointed out a bunch of stuff. And she also said, hey, look, he's trying to spread homosexuality globally, which I don't really like either. To be honest, it was kind of a tough moment for me because I consider myself to be Trump's base, probably the core of it. So he did do some stuff in that shutdown, but I know it was a difficult situation. The Democrats were never going to give up anything that's going to make them look like they didn't win or look like they're weak. The Democrats play hardball. The Republicans cave every time, just the way of the world. So I think that he got the best he could. I also know the gay stuff, if you haven't heard about this, I might bring it up later, but the gay stuff is about targeting Iran and some Muslim countries. It's about weakening them from within. The same way that, you know, whoever they are, Zionist, globalist, whatever, maybe somebody else I don't know about, they push the same agenda inside the United States, and now look where we're at. So Trump's just going to keep the ball rolling on that for a while. Who knows? I don't know. Laws are what they are. Culture is what it is. What are we going to do about it? All I know is that Anne was waiting for her moment. Ann Coulter. And I used to like her because, she's pretty hardcore. She says some crazy stuff. Not crazy true a lot of the time, but people hate her for it and she stands by it. So I got a lot of respect for her. But she's a Mitt Romney kind of gal. And rumor is on the Q boards that she took a payout in order to flip on Trump at that exact moment. So if that's true, Ann Coulter is no longer one of us. She's on her own team. She's on Team Mitt. Okay, Team Mitt Romney. And I imagine Mitt Romney is going to try to stage some primary challenge to Donald Trump to get the Republican ticket again. I mean, I wouldn't put it past them. It looks like that's what they're gearing up to do. So we got an election come up here in like a year and a half. No one's been arrested. I'm still waiting to see some of that stuff. FISA brings down the House. None of that's happened yet. It's always about, it's tomorrow. It's another week out. It's another month out. But a lot of stuff is happening, So when people focus on the stuff that's not happening, I think you miss some of this stuff. Okay, worth dragging this out a little bit more on the most read stuff is this Beto guy won't go away. Okay, this guy's a loser. He's running in Texas too, so I think what they're trying to do is Republicans have no chance of winning anything in California, ever, as far as I can tell. Unless the voting stuff happens and QAnon follows through with what they said they were going to do. Corrects California and California turns red. I don't know how we're ever going to do it. I don't see a way out. But I do see the liberal cancer taking over the heart of Texas inside of Austin, where they have the South by Southwest freaking music stuff It's a big deal. It's this SXSW, and this Mazie Hirano chick. She's a senator from Hawaii, I think. She's she's from like Japan or something. She came over after the war, and then now she wants to disarm us. So she's a Japanese woman running Hawaii trying to disarm the public of their weapons. I find that to be like ironically funny, in a way, and also kind of scary. So be careful. What I'm saying is, why is a senator, a gun grabbing senator from Hawaii, at a music festival in Austin, Texas, where they're talking about Beto, you know, South by Southwest. Like it's bubbling up. So if someone in Texas doesn't get a hold of the cancer that Austin is going to become, you deserve what you get. I'm just giving you a fair Bill Smith warning. I'm telling you, if you are in Texas, especially Austin, and you don't do something, you don't start talking out loud in public, start saying things that are controversial as far as liberal ears are concerned, trying to drag a few liberal tears out. If you're in Texas and you're not doing that, you deserve what you get 5 to 10 years from now. I'm just telling you that. 5 to 10, 20 years from now, forget about it. You won't even recognize your state. Texas is important to the rest of us because you guys are like our version of California. I'm in California, so whatever. All right. So here's another thing. This is on Politico. They're talking about racial bias doesn't fully explain Manafort's sentence. He was white, I guess. He got a good whatever, man. Here's some more stuff. Meet the group trying to change evangelical minds about Israel. I have no idea what that's about. I haven't read it. All I know is Israel has been all over the news lately, like I've never seen before, and I've been reading the news for 20 years. More than that. We're going through a moment right now where it looks like the Democrats are going to get rid of support for Israel in order to cater to the big tent. And then Israeli supporters will have nowhere else to go but to Donald Trump. And if it turns out that Donald Trump really does hate Israel, which I think that he does, I think that he understands what Israel is doing to the world and the future of humanity, but he can't do anything about it, So in order for him to do something about it, everybody has to be over in his camp. Once everybody goes over into his camp and they say this is the only place that we can get our support for Israel, then Donald Trump has tremendous leverage. So, understand Donald Trump is a politician. He will do and say things to get what needs to be done. The other side does it. We should do it too. Okay, but this article was all about Tony Podesta. So, whatever happened to this guy, right? If you go look at my very first video, Bill Smith video, I cover all this stuff. It's my first one. It's about it's about Manafort, Rick Gates, and all these other people. Pizzagate. I shouldn't even say that word out loud. It's about all that stuff. And it's about specifically how the Russia collusion investigation is fake. It's a total hoax, and I can't tell at what level it becomes a hoax. It stops being a hoax and starts being something real that serves a purpose. But that's what the video is all about. So go back, watch my first video if you want to. It's not that good, but it's got great info in it. Okay, so fast forward to today. Back then, year and a half ago, 2 years ago, Tony Podesta lost his K Street lobbyist firm, where they lobby on behalf of these other companies to Washington insiders, and they try to get policies pushed through. They're the ones that come up with what they're going to write a law to look like. They're going to change one word to be this from and to or, or from this to the, or may or shall. They make those tiny little changes. Then they give it to a politician and they say, hey, we'll support you in your next race. But we want this supported, put this out for a vote. And it happens. So Elizabeth Warren says, hey, let's make some laws or whatever. They all suck. All her ideas suck. But she says, let's make some laws. She's not going to go write them. She's a rich white lady who used to work at Harvard. She's not used to working hard. Okay? She's going to let someone else give to her whatever it is that she needs to do and take credit for. And she'll look it over and say, yeah, this is pretty good. I'll put my name on that. Where's my $1 million? Here you go. Oh, also, Planned Parenthood's given me money. I'm Elizabeth Warren. I support abortion and Planned Parenthood. So let's give Planned Parenthood another $1 billion, and then you guys can just give me a little bit more money. So that's how it works. And that's how lobbyist works, and that's what the Podesta Group run by Tony Podesta was doing in Washington, among other things. Raping kids, whatever. Okay, so the Podesta Group was an empty shell for more than a year after it imploded amid revelations about its work with former Trump campaign chairman Paul Manafort. And now the Podesta Group is suing 10 former clients. They include brand names such as SeaWorld and nonprofits such as Refugee Council USA and the Thurgood Marshall College Fund. That's a black guy, I think. All right, Refugee Council USA. Let's focus here. Okay, it just says that Podesta's trying to scrape money. This is funny. They say Podesta, who accumulated a multi-million-dollar art collection during his flush years, has continued to live a high-flying lifestyle in the aftermath of his firm's implosion, including trips to Venice, Florence, Rome, and the French coast. Where was Madeleine McCann kidnapped from? Because this article is saying that even after Podesta was taken down and lost his lobbying firm, he's still going to Venice, Florence, Rome, and the French coast. Where was Madeleine McCann kidnapped from? Okay? Also, did you know this? In the Madeleine McCann story, Sigmund Freud's nephew or something, or his grandkid, or his son, a direct descendant of Sigmund Freud is the guy that set these people up with a connection to Madeleine McCann, to the McCanns. And the Sigmund Freud guy, his son or whatever, who I'm talking about, you can go look him up. He invited the Madeleine McCann parents over for dinner, 2 days after, she was kidnapped. So I'm just saying, Politico's saying that Podesta is going to Venice, Florence, and Rome, among other places. And they mention his multi-million-dollar art collection. Okay, I'm going to take a break. Hang on a second. Let me go find it. Okay, here we are. I didn't even find it yet. I just thought this was funny. You type in Madeleine McCann sketch. This is what I was looking for. And the first thing that pops up, more people look for Madeleine McCann sketch suspect Podesta than just Madeleine McCann sketch. And there they are. There is Tony Podesta, the guy we're talking about, who lost his K Street lobbying firm, who was working with Paul Manafort, who was Trump's campaign chair, and John Podesta, the guy we all know, right? And these are the drawings on the Madeleine McCann sketch. These two guys. It's an exact replica of these two human beings. You could not draw a closer sketch to these two people. Here's another version. So this is where it all started. This is kind of ground zero, Implicated Skippy pretty good, I think. Now we'll go type in Tony Podesta, and the first hits we get are Tony Podesta arrested, and Tony Podesta art. Oh, and indicted, and then more artwork, and then red shoes. Lots of good stuff. Let's go look at his art. I just had to get this in there. I mean, this is some sick stuff, man. This is sick. Tony Podesta is a sick man. God, Look at this. He's got this hanging in his entryway. When you go into his house, that is hanging there. That is the body that Jeffrey Dahmer left. That's him. This is in a magazine. Tony Podesta is a sick man. You sick effer. God. Whatever. All right. I didn't even show you the little bears and stuff next to the napkins in his bedroom. They don't even have kids, like teddy bears and stuff in his bedroom. It's disgusting. The guy's a sick animal. Okay, so I just want to wrap this up real quick. The thing that I wanted to focus on was that he was looking at these people, he was supporting these guys, and the people that he was supporting included the Public Affairs Alliance of Iranian Americans, and like I mentioned, the Refugee Council of the USA. So I'll leave you here, though. The Refugee Council, a coalition of groups that work to resettle refugees in the U.S., retained the Podesta Group to lobby Congress on immigration and refugee issues. Where's the money in refugees? I don't get it. Until next time, this is Bill Smith.